DinamoTV, and it is time to talk seniors. And we are joined by a very well-known figure to DinamoTV, a well-known visitor, and he's always most welcome, Jason XERRI. Jason, welcome back to DinamoTV. Probably not the circumstances we'd like to be talking about, but it has been a very tough week this week, hasn't it, on and off the field?
Yeah, look, absolutely. It's never a pleasant time for anyone when you part ways with your head coach. So, yeah, it's been a massive week in more ways than one. Obviously, the week probably didn't start off in the best form with the result on the weekend on Friday night. Absolute demoralising result. Yeah, against Heidelberg, which set that sort of tone. And it was a very disappointing, performance overall. So, yeah, that was probably the start of things. And look, obviously, we had a chat on Saturday, and yeah, we obviously parted ways with Guff, which wasn't the plan. If we go back to prior to 2000 and the 2023 season, the club's goal was to obviously Carini had been at the club for a long time, and to replace Carini with someone who we felt is going to take the role on. And again, we're always looking for something that's a bit more long term than just a short term stopgap. And look, we identified Guff at the time as being one of those people that can potentially fill that role, albeit he was. I guess it was his first senior coaching gig, although he sort of filled in between here and there, and obviously had his time at Oakley. Mm-hmm. And look, I think he was we certainly don't regret giving him the opportunity, because obviously he did his best, and he was the kind of character that we were looking for at the club. And through that journey, he also I guess demonstrated all those attributes that we were looking for. And right from start to finish, from the day that he started, he's a great guy, and he's a real Dinamo person. And he's always been a gentleman from the day that he played here at the club as captain, and it was a TD, to the day that he when we parted ways, he was very gracious in the way he dealt with things towards the end on Saturday. So yeah, look, it wasn't pleasant, but look, the club's obviously needing to go in a different direction. We felt that going forward, look, we've played 8 games, so there's still plenty of football to be played for the rest of the season, and we just sort of felt we needed to make a change. Given the opportunity, give someone the opportunity to perhaps take the team on and achieve some of the goals that we want to achieve as a club. And I think one of those goals that we set out for 2 years ago is the fact that we don't want to be a club that's just there to make up numbers. And we're not a club that everyone talks about relegation. Well, certainly amongst ourselves and I guess myself and the people above me at the club, and certainly playing group and coaching group, that's not what our ambition. We don't want to be that club that's always surviving just. And so, look, last year we accepted the fact that a new coach coming on board, after Carini's era, a lot of new players. We accepted the fact that last year was a transition year, and we dealt with the blows and the things that came with it. And this year we set out with it. We said, look, we're not going to really accept the fact that the transition year was last year, and this year is a year we need to get runs on the board. And unfortunately, we haven't done that. And we owe it to our members and our fans and our team, at the club community, that we need to be better than that. And that's what we're striving for.
Yeah, there's been a lot of frustration on the terraces, on the sidelines over the last few weeks, just with the team's inability to be competitive in some games, but in other games to really kill the result in our favour. But we move on. Obviously, Ryan's always going to be welcome at the club. He's a club legend, a gentleman, as you mentioned, Jason, absolute gentleman. So he's certainly going to be welcomed at the club any day, any week. But moving forward, obviously this Saturday is a must-win game. It's a six-pointer. It's one of those games where no ifs or buts. We need a win because Altona Magic are one of the teams that are below us. There's only 3 teams below us on the ladder, as we can see there. Who's going to be taking over? Coaching the boys for this week, and what's the plan then moving forward?
Yeah, look, I guess the plan was obviously was to deal with the current situation, and as I said, we felt that we needed to move on, and obviously parted ways with Guff. But second to that, the decision was made that we weren't just going to rush into appointing someone just for the sake of appointing someone, and we felt very comfortable, and the fact that Paul Donnelly, the assistant coach, is more than capable of taking the reins for this point in time. And look, we'll see how that goes. Over the next couple of weeks, whatever it may be, until such time that we come to a conclusion as to whether Paul Donnelly might be the man for the job. He's definitely, and I've had private conversations and actually players calling me up and saying, look, we've got his back. We want to give him everything we can, and I'm sure I'm sure the boys will. So there was never any concern for us that, hey, Ryan's gone, and what are we going to do now? We feel very comfortable with Paul taking over. Look, we'll definitely be. We've been quite transparent with Paul in regards to the fact that we've got to do our due diligence as a club and make sure that we explore every option that there is out there for the betterment of the club. And if that happens to be Paul, so be it. If it happens to be someone else, so be it. So we're not rushing into any decisions just for the sake of it. We've got the confidence in Paul to do the job that needs to be done. Obviously, when a coach gets moved on at any club, you hear rumours and you hear names get thrown around and all that sort of thing. If you go by rumours, we've already appointed 15 different coaches and some silly things get thrown out there. But look, that's just life in football, and you have to accept that. But onwards and upwards. The Dinamo fans should be quite comfortable in regards to the squad that we've got and what we want to achieve going forward. It's a change. It's not the end of the world. It's not. We're not in a crisis mode. We just felt that we needed to make a change whilst we can give someone an opportunity to do well for the rest of the year. There's a lot of football to be played. There's still opportunities to finish in a good place. So let's that's what we're aiming for. And we set out to be more than just another number, and we'll continue to stick to those goals.
Well, in that case, I would urge all Dinamo fans, young and old, to get out to Paisley Park on Saturday night. Apparently, there's been some ground improvements there. The road's been asphalted. It's probably looking a lot better than it was. So you can get a kebapi roll while you're there, or you don't have to if you don't want to. But the most important thing is that you do support the boys. They do need your support. And so we're urging all Dinamo fans, young or old, to come along on Saturday night, support the club, support the boys. It's a 6-pointer. It's a game that we really, really need to win. But as you said, Jason, the club is very responsible in the way it's going about appointing a new coach. We're not going to rush into it. We're certainly going to try and do our very, very best under the circumstances. So we appreciate you coming on the show, on the DinamoTV show, Jason, to let all the Dinamo supporters, members, fans and sponsors know what is going on. And as you said, you're being transparent. The club is being transparent, and certainly a 6-0 result was unacceptable. And we move on, and hopefully on Saturday night, it's not going to be a 6-0 result. Well, if it is, it's for us, but it's going to be a 6-pointer result in our favour.
Yeah, look, absolutely, mate. And look, I again reiterate the fact there's absolute confidence in in our staff and with Paul in charge, and also too we want to sort of give a shout out to our coaching group and our staff, including Adam Tanini and Ian Burke with the 23s, and our support staff in Stefan and Johnny the physio and Roy Hunter the goalkeeper coach, who do a tremendous job. And even obviously it is a difficult time for us, but everyone's stuck together and everyone's working hard and no one's dropping the ball and everyone's pretty focused. And it's easy to get distracted when things aren't going right or there's a big change. But look, to their credit, they've done a fantastic job, and we're very fortunate to have them on board. And it also comes to, when these situations happen, to have the right leaders at the club. I mean, ultimately, I'm only the football operations manager, and there's people above me who make big decisions. And it's good to see the likes of Ilya and Mickey and others making decisions that are they're level-headed and looking with things in a rational way. So that's a key. That's a key here. One more quick thing before I do forget. Irrespective of the result on the weekend, it was again. We acknowledge the fact that it was unacceptable and it was a terrible result, but there's always something that good comes out, something bad, and obviously our player of the week for this week is Marko Bulic. He had an exceptional game in goals, albeit he copped 6, but he really probably kept that scoreline to what it was, because it could have been a lot more. So well done, Marky, for his efforts again this week, and he gets the player of the week this week.
Well, the first player to win the player of the week twice this year. So well done to Marko Bulic. Congratulations to him. And, I guess if you're a goalkeeper and you're a developing goalkeeper, you sometimes want a lot of action. Maybe not 6 goals in your net, but nonetheless, he did very, very well. So well done to Mark. Jason, thanks, mate. And they say a week is a long time in football. Hopefully this time next week we'll be celebrating and we'll be happy and we'll be 3 points the richer. That's for sure. After Saturday's game against Altona Magic.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thanks for having me on the show, and I want to thank all our members and fans for supporting us through thick and thin. We one thing I can say is we're always out there trying to do the best for the club as much as we can.
Absolutely. Good on you, mate. Good night, and thank you once again for joining us on DinamoTV.
Thanks, Tony. Cheers.